Barak de Yahweh, Barak de Yahushua, Barak de Yahweh, Barak de Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakab Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS. Salutations to you brothers out there doing this work in truth and sincerity. I like to say Mawafla Bible, which is death to Babylon. And Lord willing, this is edifying for you brothers out there that's doing this work in truth and sincerity. So real quick, I'm going to get straight into it. This is Galatians chapter 5, verse 15. It says, but if, Salakia 16, it says, this I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Right? The scripture says, walk in the spirit, and you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh, man. You know, and what is the spirit? Well, let's get this real quick. This is the book of John. This is the book of St. John, chapter 6, verse 63. And it says, it is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing, right? It says, the words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. So these words are spirit, man. You know, speaking these words in righteousness, you know, teaching these unto the children of Israel, you so-called black Hispanics and Native Americans, they are spirit. So you're supposed to walk in the spirit. You're supposed to walk according to the laws and statutes and commandments of the Most High, because this is the word, this is the spirit, you know, through the will and the power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. So let's go back to this real quick. Salakia. Galatians chapter 5, verse 16. And it says, this I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. And it's gonna get into the different words or categories that's gonna give detail of what walking in the flesh is. So real quick, verse 17, it says, for the flesh lufteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary to one another, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would, right? But if ye be led of the spirit, ye are not under the law. Oh, there go Christians. You led under the spirit, you're not under the law. The law's done away with. That's the Christians for you. It says, now the works of the flesh are manifest. Now it's about to talk about the works of the flesh. Now see how much the works of the flesh go straight into the being contrary to the law. So it says, now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery. Hold up. Adultery is in the Old Testament. Adultery is in the law. Adultery is the transgression of the law, right? So if you committed adultery, which is sin, and sin is the transgression of the law. It says fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulation, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envying, murderers, drunkenness, raveling, and such like, of which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of heaven. That's going back also into the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 9. So what is that talking about? So that's talking about living of the flesh, man. And guess what, man? That's the majority of you people in the world. You live by way of the flesh. You live carnally, man. Right? And what do the scriptures tell you when you live carnally, man? Let's check it out. This is the book of Romans. What is that? 8 and 6. The book of Romans chapter 8 verse 6. And it says, for to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace, man. So to be spiritually minded is life and peace, right? So what do it mean to be spiritual? So like it real quick. So let me get this. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 14. I think that's verse 37. Nah. Yeah, that's 37. It's locking. 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 37. It says, if any man think himself to be a prophet, and the prophet means what? To be a spokesman or speaker, right? It says, or spiritual, let him acknowledge that the things that I write unto you are the commandments of the Lord, man. So that's what you got to understand. But you got all these people, Christians, Jehovah's Witnesses, and Mormons, you know, talking about their spiritual, man. But the scripture says what? It says, if any man think himself to be a prophet or spiritual, let him acknowledge that the things that I write unto you are the commandments of the Lord. Come on, man. You people lack the understanding of the Bible. People lack the understanding of the Bible completely, man. So the Lord ain't dealing with everybody, man. He's dealing with a certain few, and that's it, man. And only that certain few have the truth, man. So again, Galatians chapter 5, verse 22. It says, but the fruit, Salakia, I'm gonna start up at 22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love. Now, what is love? Well, you know, we consistently pull that out to remind you people what love really is. It's not according to your heart. Salakia, I went to John. It's 1 John. 1 John chapter 5 verse 3. Let's get an understanding on what love really is according to the Bible, man. It says, for this is love, right? For this is love of the Most High, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. So that's love, man. That's love, right? Let's go back to this, man. So this is about keeping the commandments, man. This is about not living of the flesh, but living of the Spirit, which means to keep the commandments, what it means to be a prophet, or what it means to be spiritual, to acknowledge the commandments of the Most High, right? Come on now. This is Galatians chapter 5, verse 22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, and peace, which is coming real soon to the earth, right? Because the scriptures tell you there's a time for love, there's a time for peace, and there's a time for war, right? Going back into the book of Ecclesiastes, it says long suffering, right? Gentleness, goodness, faith, right? Meekness, which you people aren't. You people aren't humble for shit. You're not humble for shit, man. You know, and excuse my language, but you people aren't humble. You're just a bunch of proud demons, man. It's temperance. Temperance means self-control, which you people do not have, man. Many times over, man, brothers on the highways and byways, or brothers that are still out on the highways and byways, go out there and teach this word. You people lose your damn minds because you don't understand it. All emotional. Against such, there is no law. Oh, that go Christians. And why is there no law? Well, even the Lord said it. He said, for I have not came to save the righteous, but I have came to save sinners, man. That's what the Lord said. Because the righteous is already living righteously. They already living by the law, statutes, and commandments. But the disobedient is not. That's what it's talking about. The law, statutes, commandments aren't done away with. Come on, man. And you people, 2/3 of you so-called black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, y'all disobedient as hell, man. It says, and they that are a Mashiach have crucified the flesh with the affections of lust, right? So we just got the understanding on what the flesh is. The flesh, living by the flesh is what? Living contrary to the laws, the statutes, and commandments, man. Come on, man. You people are bugged the hell out, man. See, man, this is why I can't wait for the Lord to really start taking you Christians, Jehovah's Witnesses, and Mormons, and you other vain-ass religions, you other no-good-ass religions off the map, man. Can't wait till he destroy you, man. Man, let's keep going, man. It says, if we live in the spirit, right? So if we live in the spirit, which means to live by this word, it says, let us walk in the spirit. So let us walk by this word, man. It says, let us not be desirous of vain glory, because that's not what this truth is about. This truth isn't about you being seen. You know, this truth isn't about you on YouTube, you trying to get YouTube famous, man. You want 30,000 views, you know, you want 1 million views in a year, man. This isn't about you showing your ass, man. This is about you doing the will of the Most High. You know, what do Matthew 7:21 say? It says, for not everyone that say, Lord, Lord, shall be saved, but those that doeth the will of my Father. So this isn't about you sticking your ass out there to get seen, man. You know, this is about doing the work of the Lord. It says, let us not be desirous of vain glory, provoking one another, envying one another, man. Right? So we know envy means jealousy, man. And you're going to have a lot of dudes out there that's jealous of the apostles and GMS that's going to break off and do their own thing, man. And what I mean about jealous, you're going to hate the fact that you're not up there with them. You see shit like that a lot, man. Jake is a real jealous ass nigga, man. But yeah, man, you know, I just wanted to make that real quick. But I want to say Barak de Yahweh, Barak de Yahushua, Barak de Yahweh, Barak de Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakak Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS, and salutations to your brothers out there doing this work in true sincerity. I like to say Mu'aflat Bible, which is death to Babylon. The Lord willing, this was edifying for you brothers out there that's doing this work in true sincerity. I like to say Shalom.